Well, hello there, my friends. Happy 2021 officially. I am posting this video on New Year's Day. It is January 1st, 2021. Let's talk, okay? 2020 sucked, huh? It really did. Yeah, 2020, worst year so far. Okay. Lots of rough stuff. Lots of alone time. A lot of stress. A lot of unemployment, which led to a lot of this. So like, are we that mad? I don't know. But like, really good things happened to me in 2020 and some really awful things happened to me in 2020. And we're just gonna remember that, appreciate our health, our wellness, and our happiness, and move on into 2021 with a super excited, fresh mindset that this year could not possibly be as bad as the last one, right? Like, challenge accepted 2021, but I don't think you can do it. Okay? And yes, it is 9 p.m. I got this coffee at 5:30 when I picked up my daughter, and it's still here, so what are you gonna do? So today we're gonna talk about our 2020 makeup favorites. So that is kind of where I want to start here. 2020 was, yes, rough, but also it allowed for me to be here. Not only in this beautiful office room in Sean's house, which we moved in March. I redid this room, I painted, I rearranged furniture, I cleaned it, I went a little crazy, if you will, drew some artwork, hung some things. It was a great place, okay? And without being laid off and unemployed for 9 months, I wouldn't have done this. So pretty thankful for that, and also thankful for the so far only 58 of you. Haven't quite gotten to 60 yet, but like, we surpassed the Instagram goal, so thank you all for being here and enjoying my videos and hanging out with me every Thursday, which is now every Friday, because I noticed that Fridays do better for my channel, so we're doing Friday videos now. And now that that's out of the way, let's talk about these 2020 favorites, shall we? I tried a lot of makeup this year. And that has led to a very interesting 2020 favorites. So I kind of looked through my makeup. I've obviously never done one of these before on YouTube, but I've had makeup for years. I've been doing makeup for the last 5-6 years of my life, 6-7 maybe, like religiously. So I had a lot of things that I could choose from, but I did a lot of shopping this year, a lot of testing, a lot of trying. Sorry, I'm rearranging my desk because I just did the makeup and now I'm trying to talk about it, so I need to like know where everything is. So I want to start per category, start with primer and work our way to setting spray, all of them. And I will tell you if there's one, say a palette or a foundation or something that I have tried this year, those are my 2 examples so far, but that I've tried this year that have been my all-time favorites that I've never done on a 2020 favorites, I will mention them. But I also am trying to include products that I started using this year, because 2020, you know, the year 2020. So let's begin. My favorite primer of this year, which is the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, the liquid, not the pot. I got this in June because I wanted to do, and by wanted I mean I was doing my aunt's wedding makeup, and I knew that this primer would be the one that I would need. So I went and bought it, and I've used it every single day since. It is delightful. It feels great on my skin. As a girl with eczema, I have no issues with this causing eczema on my skin. It is truly a delight. It smells good, it feels good, it makes your skin feel really smooth, and I do find that these areas on my face don't crease as much with this. My forehead is still bad, but my forehead's my forehead. It's gonna crease, but these little lines that I have don't crease nearly as bad when I use this. Now, this isn't the only primer I use every day. So typically I will do a pore filling, which is what this is, primer, and then a luminous or moisturizing primer. And my favorite luminizing or glowy primer this year is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. This is great because it adds such a nice amount of like sheen that you can put under foundation, which is how I would apply this to anybody who wants to get this. I would not get it and use it as like just a moisturizer or a highlighter on top of your makeup. Like I would use this all over your face. It's called a Glotion. It's like it is Tin Man Shiny Lotion. But don't use it as the only thing. She'll look crazy. But underneath your foundation, it just gives such a delightful glow from within. Feeling the foundation will kind of mute it a little bit so it's not so reflective. But I just take a nice little squeeze of this, put it all over my face after my Tatcha primer, and then go on top with foundation. And it makes my skin look great. Okay, I have eczema, I have dry skin. It's now winter, so my skin is exponentially worse than it was all summer. And this still looks nice on my skin, and it doesn't give me eczema either, which is an added bonus. Moving into my foundation category. This is where I have an all-time favorite and a 2020 favorite. So my all-time favorite foundation ever, okay? And I tried a lot of foundations this year and nothing ever topped it, but L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This foundation is unbelievable. It's drugstore. You can get it easy, anywhere. They have quite a few shades. I'm not really sure. I know that in the winter, am 204. Sorry, backwards. In the summer, I'm 204. In the winter, I'm 202. 203 is a little too yellow for me, so I don't ever use that shade, but those are the two I use. I'm wearing this today. This foundation does not sit in my forehead lines at all. It doesn't give me eczema. It doesn't dry my skin out. It doesn't make me react, and it does not sit in my forehead lines. How? I don't know. Every other foundation I have ever tried will fall into these lines eventually. This one will not. And it's so glowy and beautiful. And when you combine the glowy primer and the glowy foundation, match made in heaven. If you want your skin to look healthy and not dry at all, which if you're a dry girl, boy, don't use a matte foundation because you're gonna look extra dry. So trying to mask how dry you look, this is your combo. This is it. Put this on first, this on second, you're a happy girl, guy, human. I don't know. But my 2020 foundation, Ulma Beauty. So I tried this foundation back in June, July, after the whole Black Lives Matter movement, which was a huge thing, which is still happening, but a huge thing that started to really gain a lot of ground in 2020. I wanted to try out more Black-owned beauty brands, and so I did purchase from Ulma Beauty, and 2 of the 3 products I purchased are in my favorites today. And the only reason all 3 aren't in here is because I found one concealer that was slightly better than the Ulma Beauty. Slightly, just slightly. Otherwise, all 3 of them would have been in this video. But this Ulma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation, I use it in the shade Fair Lady T1N. This foundation is great because it is like water. It goes on your skin. It is so thin. I actually didn't use this today as an example, so I'll just show you. Ready? Okay. It's watery. You can see it falling down my skin right now. Okay, and then it smells like grapes. It has grape extract in it, so it smells like grapes. And it's just this really nice, this is a little too yellow for me. I should have gone with a slightly lighter shade, but I was in the summer, so I needed a different shade at the time. It's soft matte, but it's not flat. You're gonna look like you have some luminance, especially if you're gonna put something like this underneath, you'll be fine. The only reason this isn't my all-time favorite is because it does sink into my lines a little bit on the forehead, and the Pro Glow does not. So that makes the Pro Glow superior, but this foundation is delightful. Now we're gonna move on to color corrector. And I've only tried 2 in my lifetime. One was the NYX color corrector, and the other is this, which is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. in the shade light medium. They also have a shade medium dark, medium deep, whatever. This color corrector is phenomenal. As you can see in my little clip that I'm going to insert, I put a little bit on my finger, I tap it into my inner corner and underneath my eye where I get a little blue right here, and it brightens up your eye dramatically. Like, it is so noticeable. And if you, watching all the side-by-sides I've been doing for the last 9 months and you haven't thought that this was amazing, you're crazy, okay? A little goes a long way. You do not want to use a lot because it is a little thicker. And some people call it sticky, but not in like a, it stays sticky, but when you go to put it on, you can feel that it's a little tacky. Typically I get excess off with a sponge just to make sure that I don't have too much under my eyes because that will crease, but a little goes a long way and it's very effective and it's amazing. And I cannot live without this now that I've used it. I don't think I will ever be able to do my makeup without this. I use it every single day. Like I said with concealers, Oma Beauty, delightful. But I found a new concealer this year that it just stole my heart. And I am a drugstore brand snob. Like, there are certain drugstore brands that I won't even look at when I walk by them. For some reason, CoverGirl was one of them. Then I saw somebody mention this concealer, so I went and bought it. And I have never been happier. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. It is a huge doe foot, okay? It's not some tiny little thing. Like, this is the size of my nose, okay? It's crazy. The coverage, delightful. A lot of coverage. It also comes in a lot of tones that at least work for my skin tone. Once again, when I'm looking at products, I'm obviously trying to find my shade, so I don't always look all the way to the end when I look for the deeper shades. I don't know how good their skin tone range is, but I know CoverGirl did a whole rebrand. They also are now cruelty-free. One of the only brands at the drugstore that is cruelty-free, so that's amazing. But this concealer is just gorgeous. I'm gonna wipe some off, which I typically do on a day-to-day basis because a lot comes out of the doe foot and I just wipe it and then use it. But God, it's lightweight, it's not thick, but it's also not super watery and wet. It's really good coverage, like I mentioned. It blends out so easy. It does dry fast, so if you are trying to do like multiple areas on your face at once, it's not really good for that. Typically what I do is I put a little bit under my eye here, and then I try to add a little bit to the side of my nose, a little bit here to kind of pull my eye upwards, and then do the same on the other side, blend that out. And then I move on to my chin, my nose, and my forehead. Start at the chin, blend it out. No issues with it not blending. And like I was also saying is, when I get ready for work, I only use concealer. I'm not using foundation every day. It's just too much for my skin. So this is also good by itself if you're trying to do just a concealer look, because it has enough coverage to cover your cheek area where you're gonna have a little bit more redness or pimples. So if you have pimples or anything, like, these will cover it. It's great. It's a everyday concealer for me. It's a full glam concealer. It's truly delightful. It sets good. It barely creases under my eyes. And like, we're all gonna crease, okay? We're humans. We have folds up here. We move our face. We smile, so we have smile lines. Our eyes are gonna move. I'm gonna get creases under there. But this creases a lot less than a lot of the concealers I've tried. When it comes to powder, this is the only face powder, not the only, but for the last 3 years of my life, this is the powder I use every day. Does not matter. I use it multiple different ways with a sponge. I'll mention that in a second. Or with like a little eyeshadow brush to kind of just go under my eyes a little bit so I don't get super dry, because my under eyes crease, but they're also dry. So if I put too much powder on, just a mess. But this is a translucent powder, or slightly toned. This one is Fair Light, I believe. Yes, shade 10 Fair Light. You can tell I use it a lot. And then I also have a brand new one waiting to start in case I need it. I don't go without it ever. So this also comes in a lot of shades, and what I do like about powders that have a slight skin tone tint to them is that they're not going to give you a white cast when you have lights or flash photography. You're not going to get that big white cast all over your face. But also, translucent powders don't really work that great for deeper skin tones because white powder, no matter how translucent it is gonna show up with a slight ashy tone on a skin tone that is much darker than I am. So to know that they have shades that go, the Fit Me line is very inclusive and it goes to deep tones. So you were able to use this no matter your skin tone because you can get a different shade and it will also set you phenomenally. It does a great job on my forehead to set, it does a great job on my smile lines to set, and it doesn't dry me out super bad. It also doesn't make me react or look dry. Like, I still look glowy and beautiful, and I set my forehead the most out of anything on my face, and I can still see some natural shine. And that's great. It's wonderful. Favorite sponge of all time this year are these two EcoTools sponges, and they come as like a 2-pack, like this. I actually have a brand new one down in my like stockpile, if you will. So when these die, which they have, if you can't tell, it's literally broken because I've used it so much and washed it so much, I just have another one. But these sponges are great. I love the flat end to do powder. I love that it comes in a 2-pack with a smaller one so I can do my concealer. I also like to blend out cream bronzer with this little end because it's very precise. This is great for foundation and powder. Great sponges. The Real Technique sponges are great too, but these ones just feel better. And I've used the Real Technique sponges for years and they've always been my favorite, but I tried these sponges this year and game changers. These sponges are insane. So if you need a makeup sponge, you run it under the water, you squeeze it as the water pours on it under the faucet, then you really wring it out, get a towel, dry it, and now it's wet enough for you to use it. If you want to do foundation with dry skin, get these sponges. They are amazing. So moving on to bronzer. I have a I have a powder and a cream. My favorite cream bronzer of the year is this Milk Makeup Baked Bronzing Stick, and I used it in my video, in my clip, and I did not use my powder. However, with this Milk Makeup Bronzing Stick, I do kind of want to give you a little tip. This is the trial size, or the travel size, or whatever, the tiny version. I think this was $14, which may seem like a large price tag, but the big version of this is like this wide and like almost $30. I've had this for 9 months, okay? I still have plenty in there. It's not going anywhere. And by the time I would be able to finish this, it would have expired anyways. 12 months, yeah. I'm 3 months away, 3 or 4 months away from this expiring, and I still have plenty of product. So if you want to get the Milk Makeup Baked Bronze Cream Stick, get the trial size. You save half the money and you still have plenty of product to use nonstop, and you're not going to break your bank or have to throw away half of it and cry yourself to sleep at night, okay? So this cream bronzer is amazing. I just draw it right on my face. I just threw them for dramatic effect. Hold on. I take the butt of a little sponge and I just blend it out. And it blends with ease. You just have to tap it. You don't have to try that hard. You don't have to really go crazy. You don't have to be good at cream bronzer to blend this out. I don't know. I just think this is amazing and it's delightful. And if you want to try cream bronzers, get this one. Now for powder bronzer. I've used this bronzer for 3 years. The year it came out, everybody on YouTube talked about it. I bought it. And I've never looked back. This is the best bronzer I've ever used. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Bronzer. And it smells like a pina colada. It has a slight sheen to it as well. So when you use it, it's also not a flat matte color. And it's great. So if you need a powder option, you're more of a powder person, you don't want to do this, I get it. I didn't do it for a while either. If you're a powder person, go buy it. Best bronzer. I don't know. It's amazing. That's all I can say. Great, let's move on to blush. So this year, the best blush that I found are in these e.l.f. bite-sized face duos. I don't give two shits about this highlighter. I don't. I really don't care. It's just the blushes in these duos that are amazing. They have so many different shades. But these are the two I have, and these are the two I love. This is Lychee, I don't know how to say it, but Lychee, which is this mauve tone, and this is Spiced Apple, which is like a nice peach. So these two shades are my go-to. If I'm doing more of a warm look like today, I use Spiced Apple. If I'm doing more of a mauvey pinky tone, I use the Lychee shade. Nearly every single day, I'm using these blushes. They blend great. They're $3. This is $3, okay? And if you want to use the highlighter, then good for you. You have a $3 blush and highlighter duo. Can you use this highlighter on your eyes as an eyeshadow? Sure can. Okay, so $3. Come on, that's outrageous. It's so good. And the blush is just, it's delightful. It's this like beautiful, creamy, easily blendable product, super blendable product. It goes on with ease. You'll see it in the clip. I don't even have to try. I just take this brush, little angled brush, and I just bloop, 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 done. And if you're doing like a super fast work look, you can take the same brush and just like brush it all over your eyes and you have a gorgeous pink eyeshadow look. I don't know. They're $3. Do I have to say anything else? They're worth it, okay? Ulma Beauty has a Double Take Sculpt and Strobe Duo Stick, which is a bronzing stick with a cream bronzer and a highlighter. This is in the shade Fair Lady, and this cream bronzer is too dark for me. Just for comparison's sake, let's put this guy next to it. Okay, this is the shade I use every day, and this is this bronzer stick. It's just too dark. I need to get the lighter shade, so I have to order another concealer anyways because I ran out of mine because I used it all. And when I get that, I want to get a lighter shade of this contour stick because the cream is amazing. It's just way too dark and I can barely use it. But the highlight, I know it looks wicked gold, but it is stunning. Okay? You just rub it on your finger and you tap it on and it is gorgeous. And I don't like highlighter. I barely wear it. I don't want to wear it. Like, it's just, I don't need glitter all over my face. It's not glittery. It's a beautiful glowy sheen and it's easy. I just wipe it on with my finger and like tap, 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 I'm done. And the fact that it's a cream for dry skinned girls, way better than adding a powdery, glittery highlighter that's just gonna emphasize your texture because that's what they're doing. They're shining. If you have like crazy texture going on here, you're gonna accentuate it. If you have a pimple on the spot where you're highlighting, it's gonna be right there in your face, okay? But a cream is just so much nicer looking on your skin, especially one that isn't full of glitter. Like, this is just delightful. And don't be scared by the gold because I wouldn't draw it on and then tap, like I would just rub your finger on it and tap it out. And that is our base. Now let's move on to eyeshadow. I have 4 palettes I want to talk about, and that's not my fault because eyeshadow palettes are my favorite thing in makeup. They really are. If somebody comes out with an eyeshadow palette, I want it every single time. So I have 4. It is insane. I get it. Okay, just stop yelling at me. So I have an all-time favorite eyeshadow palette. I have a 2020 favorite nudes palette. I have a 2020 favorite colorful palette, and I also have an honorable mention because I haven't owned it long enough to say that it's a favorite for the year, but I really want to because it's beautiful and I love it so much. Okay, so let's start with my all-time favorite. My all-time favorite eyeshadow palette, Tartelette in Bloom. This is very reflective, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna show it to you, and the whole packaging is just a mirror, but this is the palette. As you can tell, big fan. It's a great eyeshadow palette. It has wonderful nudes. The nudes that are in here, the natural shades, have a slight pinky undertone rather than a warm red undertone, and it's just very flattering. I prefer a pink nude shade on my eyes. Do I have, like, this neutral palette I'm showing you has a lot of red-based undertones, And that also looks nice, but I prefer pinks. They're my go-tos and they're my favorites. And this palette has it all. The 3 shimmers in here are also beautiful, but I'm not using them a ton. When I'm using this palette, it's for the mattes. It's for these 4 mattes right here and these 2. It blends beautifully. It's easy. All-time favorite palette. I discovered that years ago though. So my favorite nude palette of 2020, the Mellow Cosmetics Sinopia palette. Now, this is stunning, and it even has a little pop of blue in it, which is so cute. I used it today on my eyes, other than the shimmer, because that is a topper that I wanted to talk about as a favorite this year, but this is gorgeous. There's this nudie shade, which is a great transition. This shade called Blush is like my dream shade. It's stunning. Then you have Sinopia, you have Merlot. This dust shade is great. This pecan shade is nice. All these shimmers are gorgeous. It's beautiful. There's some fallout in this blue, but it's fine. It blends well. The shades are great. It does have a slight pinky undertone in some of these, like I'm talking about, like Blush here and Merlot have like that pink and burgundy kind of look. Nudie is just a nude. It's nice. I really enjoy this. And I didn't know when I got this if this was like, I don't know, I hadn't really heard a lot of people talk about Mellow. They reached out to me on Instagram, offered me a discount code, and I was like, sure, I'll try it. And I was so pleasantly surprised. And their liquid lipstick is also awesome, but I didn't include it because I found one that I liked even more. But actually, speaking of, I posted something on my Snapchat, my Instagram story of me wearing their lipstick today, and they shared it. They have 285,000 followers, and they shared my stuff. I loved it. I was so happy. Anyways, so this is my favorite nude eyeshadow palette of the year. It's just like, let's just do this shade for example, okay? Look at it. My favorite colorful eyeshadow palette of the year. And it pains me to say it because you literally can't even buy it. You can't. It's gone. But I'm also not sorry because it's that good, but the e.l.f. x Jkissa To the Rescue palette. It comes white and then they send you stickers. And then you can just put stickers all over it and it's so cute. I put my daughter's name on it, which like great for me personally, but when I'm doing videos, not so great. But I'm covering it with my hand. I don't know, it's gorgeous. I've loved this palette. I've used this palette more times than I ever expected to use it. It is so cool. Okay, you have this top row of rainbow shades, which are like your lighter, brighter shades, and then a slightly deeper version of these lighter, brighter shades. So if you want to do a monochromatic look, this is all you need. And then you have gorgeous, like glittery shimmer shades all here of the same tones. It's genius and it's beautiful. It brings me joy just to look at this palette. I can't, it's just too pretty. I couldn't not include it. It is by far the best colorful eyeshadow palette that I own. Now for my honorable mention. RawBeautyKristi and Colourpop at Foresight. Oh, I have stuff all over it. I get it, okay? I just got this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know, I get it. But here's the thing. Since I got this palette, I have not stopped using it. I have used it in I think 2 or 3 videos on this channel. I've used it almost every single day for work since I've gotten it. It's gorgeous. This pink shade is beautiful. This puffball shade, just like all over your eyes, super fast, easy. Chanterelle, also beautiful. I used this, like these two, for like a yellow look where I put this in my crease and this just all over my lid. Beautiful. I used this evergreen shade mixed with Rainier and Homegrown, gorgeous. Then you have your beautiful greens and blues. Like, it's such a beautiful palette and it is so well done. The only shade that I haven't tried is this one right here. And you know what? Let's just watch it. Let It Rain. It's like black with like, looks like red shimmers in it. I mean, look at that pigment. It's so nice. And I've only had it for 3 weeks, so I couldn't say that this was my favorite eyeshadow palette of the year, but I wanted to mention it. Honorable mention, okay? Honorable mention. And as I'm saying that, I'm about to show her eyeshadow toppers as my favorite, or her Super Shock shadows as my favorite eyeshadow toppers of the year. But in general, Colourpop Super Shock shadows, best eyeshadow toppers you can get. Their shimmer shades are so stinking beautiful. It's not even funny. Like, I'm just gonna swatch it. I'm just gonna swatch it. I have to. It's not my fault. This is the shade Mycelium, which is on my eyes. Just ready for this? They're creamy. Like, they're literally like wet to powder, or wet cream to powder formulas. So you just kind of like, you have to make sure your lid is on tight. You wipe your little finger on there. You just, they're just too good. I don't know how to explain it to you. I've used them many times. I've mentioned them in videos. Like, Super Shock shadows are stunning, but her collection with Colourpop, these two, Mycelium and Olympic, were my all-time favorites because they're everyday shades. They're these beautiful champagne-y, like this one's a little bit pinker, this one's a little bit more gold, and it's just like, they go with everything. You can use them with everything. But I also have a couple up in my little organizer that I love. But Colourpop Super Shock shadows, if you have not tried them, I swear to God, you need them. Now we're gonna move on to eyeliners, and I have a black pencil, a nude pencil, and a black liquid liner. My favorite black pencil liner that I have used this year, LA Girl Glide Gel Liner in the shade Very Black. They are also cruelty free, so awesome. But it's just a black pencil, you sharpen it. I use it every day to put in my upper lash line, or my tight line if you will, to make my lash line look thicker using black. It stays the best out of all the ones that I've tried in a really long time. It doesn't go anywhere. It barely, well, it transferred pretty bad today, but typically it doesn't transfer that bad down if I'm using a nude on my lower lash line, and it stays all day. When I go to take my makeup off at the end of the day, I have to physically take it off because it's still there 12 hours later. My favorite nude liner of the year and of all time is the Colourpop Honey Dude eyeliner. It is the best nude liner that I've ever used, and Colourpop liners in general, great. If you want a fun pop of color, Colourpop. If you want a great nude liner, Colourpop. I haven't used their black, but I bet it's just as good, Colourpop. I don't know, they're great, and they're inexpensive. These are $6, this is $6. Like, granted, this LA Girl is very cheap. It's probably like $3 or $4, but still, it's great. This is great, I love it. I use it nearly every day to put a nude in my waterline, just because I feel like it really opens up my eyes. It makes my eyes look a little bit brighter, a little bit more awake, which, Lord help me, I need all the time because I don't know why, but my sleep schedule is awful. It's great. I don't know what else to tell you. If you need a nude liner, this is it. That's all I have to say about that. As for a liquid liner, which I didn't want to do today because I just did this in a video, but if you'd asked me maybe 2 months ago, would have been the NYX Epic Ink Liner in black. Problem is, sometimes they bleed really bad. This particular one bleeds really bad. This, though, is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and it's a brush tip. The actual pigment of this is amazing. It is matte, it is black, it goes on super easy. I have no issues. I'm pretty well versed in liquid eyeliners at this point, and I'm pretty good at wings, but I think eyeliner takes me 5 minutes total. That's an exaggeration. 3 minutes total to do both eyes, typically. And this is so inexpensive. It's Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild this is probably a $3 eyeliner, and it's great. So if you need a really good liquid eyeliner that is matte, it's black, it's gonna last forever, this is the one. Don't even question it. Don't use that bullshit Maybelline one that you found on the bottom of the shelf. Like, oh, this must be no, use this. It's cheaper, it's better, it's gonna be what you need, okay? This is it, this is it. Don't, you're not buying that other one. You're not, it's this one only, okay? Mascara, this should be no surprise. L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise in Blackest Black is what I use. Best mascara I've ever used. They dry it pretty quick, but I don't mind. I kind of like a drier mascara. The first time you open it, it's a hair wet, but not really. By the day 2, it's perfect. And it just, I mean, you've seen my eyelashes. It's great. Okay, I did a side-by-side comparison in a shot where I just did one eye fully, upper and lower, and showed you the difference between the two. It's great. Also, curl your eyelashes. Curl your eyelashes. If you don't, you're wrong. It's gonna help. Lifts them right up there, makes them look extra big and fluffy. This holds my curl great. It's nice. My favorite lip liner of 2020 is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I bought 2 shades back in June for my aunt's wedding, and then I bought this particular shade for my mother's wedding in September. But I've only ever used this lip liner since. This shade of it. All of the colors in this line, great. Quality is amazing. They're great. But this color is my favorite. This is the shade 604 Up and Down Tan. It is like my favorite. I don't know, it's just stunning. It's like a mix between a warm nude and a mauve-y cool, like it goes with everything. I can put that underneath a mauve and it looks great. I can put it underneath a warm nude and it looks great. I can put it all over my lips alone. It looks great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. I love it. It's great. For lipsticks, I did 4 different, well, technically only 3 different ones, but I had 2 nudes. But in general, the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayons this year were my 2020 favorite lip product find. Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayons. Best product that I've found in 2020. Bold statement, but true. They have nudes, they have brights, they have everything you'd ever want. Deep tones, they're great. Okay, they stay on nice, they're comfortable. They're not transfer proof, like they will come off if you do a little kissy kiss kiss, but they're beautiful and they're just really easy to put on. I love the shape because they're thin, and so I have a lot of control when I'm applying it to my lips. I've talked about this before. I don't like lipstick bullets, the standard size lipsticks. They're too big for my lips. I can't control them. These are great. They're thin and they're nice. They also come with a sharpener on the bottom, so if you want to sharpen up that point because you've worn it down like you do with normal lipsticks, you can sharpen it and get your little point once again. You don't need a lip liner with these. I did today just because I needed to use a lip liner because it's in my favorites, but you don't need a lip liner. This is a shade I used today. It is 20 Enjoy the View. So it's on my lips right now. I will swatch them all for you. So that is 20 Enjoy the View. You get to see how creamy it is. My other favorite nude that I wore almost just as much as 20, this one's a hair darker than just like a standard nude. This is shade 15 Lead the Way. It is my other favorite nude right there. This is more of my like lighter everyday nude. For my favorite bright lipstick, it is also a Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon, and you've seen me use this a million times. This color was everything to me this summer. I loved this as my bright shade. This is 35 Treat Yourself. It's just so cool. It's the coolest bright pink you will ever have. And it's so fun to just have some bright lipsticks and have it be from the drugstore. Win-win. I think this may be like an $8 lipstick. It lasts forever. It's delightful. And then I know I mentioned this particular lipstick last week, but Sephora Cream Lip Stain in the shade 01 is my favorite red of all time. And the Sephora Cream Lip Stains are also really good liquid lipsticks if you want them. Some better than others. I have one that's like wicked dry, but this one and 13 Mad for Mauve are like delightful shades. But this is my Sephora Cream Lip Stain in 01. It's my favorite red of all time. And it's just, it lasts really well. It dries down like a liquid lipstick, but not super drying. It is a gorgeous red, and it is just everything you've ever wanted. So that is my list for all my lipsticks. My nudes, my bright of the year, and my red of the year. 2 more categories, and this category I'm surprised I even have in this video, because before maybe a month ago I never even wore lip gloss. But I found a really good lip gloss this year. And that is the Maybelline Lifter Glosses. by far, I've tried 3 different lip gloss brands, or 3 different lip glosses in general, including the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb that people die over, and these are better. And they're less expensive. You don't have to spend like 20 something dollars on a lip gloss from Fenty when you literally have the exact same shade right here. This is the same. If you've wanted to try that Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb that everybody raves about, get the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Moon. It's the same. It's the same. It's what I'm wearing today on my lips. And obviously on top of a lipstick, you're not going to get the color of this, but it's the same thing. The other shade that I really like is Silk. This is more for when I do my mauve days. So I either have like a warm tone day or a cool tone mauve day. Like those are my 2 options. This is good for my cool tone mauve. This is good for my warm tone day. These are the best lip glosses. They are thick. They're not sticky. They're comfortable. They last okay. I mean, they're lip glosses. They're not going to stay forever, but they come in a lot of shades. They have some, like these 2, which are the 2 that I was just talking about, both have like glitter in them, which will give you more reflection on your lips. Not to a point that you're feeling the glitter on your lips at all, but just gives you a little bit more shine. But then they also have some that have no glitter at all and are just color. So you have different options. If you're not looking for a super shiny, but you want some color to it, they have both, and it's great. Favorite setting spray of the year, this one's literally empty. I just tried to spray it on my face and it didn't work, but favorite setting spray of the year / all time is the Urban Decay All Nighter. It is worth every penny. I think that this is one of the best setting sprays that is on the market. Makes your makeup last forever. It has a wonderful nozzle, so when you're spraying it, you're not attacking your face with wet spray. It's nice, it's great. There's no reason to not pay for this. And I get it, it's like $28. But if you want your makeup to last all day, not budge, and look just as good at 7 a.m. as it will at 10 p.m., this is what you need in your life. And I'm not joking. For my uncle's wedding, I wore makeup for 14 straight hours, and this made it look good at the 14th hour still. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, just believe me, okay? It's worth it. Also, there's definitely a review on Sephora of someone literally posting a picture of themselves with a neck brace on a stretcher, and their makeup is perfect. And they wrote a review saying how good this was because they were crying and in like a car accident, and their makeup didn't move with this. Like, and if you're not using setting spray, your makeup's not gonna last. I just want to put that out there. Also, if you have a lot of powder and your face is really dry and powdery, putting a setting spray on will make it all melt into your skin and look so much more natural and like it should be there. So there are so many benefits to using setting spray. And this one in particular is the one that you should buy. Don't question me, okay? And on that note, that is the end of my video today, okay? I've been filming for the last 2 hours because I filmed myself doing my makeup first, and then I filmed this. So my voice hurts. Sean wants me to go to sleep, and I would like to take this makeup off. Oh, and I have to pee because I drank coffee. So, to wrap this up, happy 2020. Nope, happy 2021, bye 2020. I'm so glad it's over. That year couldn't have sucked worse. But it's a fresh start. We're starting fresh, we're starting new. We're gonna hit our 1 year on YouTube, which is gonna be so exciting and so happy. And I really hope you enjoyed this video of all of my makeup favorites. If you have a favorite that I maybe haven't tried, please tell me in the comments. If you like any of these items or you try any of these items because I tell you to, then also please tell me in the comments or tell me on my Instagram, which is @CaitlinJolene_makeup. I also do a tutorial every week on my Instagram stories, typically Monday, late night and Monday, talking about what I'm putting on my face, but also just like hanging out, listening to music, having a great time. So go follow me on there and tell me about all these products that you love. And I post videos here every Friday at 5 p.m. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this if you think that this is so fun and that these products are to die for, just like I do. And on that note, I'm gonna go to sleep Well, first I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I really have to pee. But I hope you guys had a great 2020. I hope you guys have an even better 2021. And god damn it, universe, we need this one to be good, okay? Anyways, I love you all so much. Goodbye. And we're up close, per usual. Come on. Yeah, look at this. Look at this gorgeous beauty, okay? It's just... makeup is lovely. Okay, love you, bye.